it's
Oh, that's
there's
what you're building.
Is it not a
there's
real
no
piece?
screw. No, it's like but there's no screw
Oh
holes in
shit!
it.
We're actually we're live. I
Oh
guess.
shoot! Oh, whoops!
Like
Huh.
live on.
Like live. For some reason the starting screen didn't actually pop up, and it's just us. So
How
hi.
Hey guys.
How rude!
Well,
how rude of
we are
us!
live.
How rude of us!
That
Hey,
was
chat,
that was
what's up?
unintentional, but cool. So Corey, now everyone knows that you don't have a screw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
glad I wasn't picking my nose.
Okay.
Alrighty then. What's up? How you guys doing?
That was a very bad impromptu startup, but
You know.
what's
Well, time to pivot. So what has been going on in your weeks? We'll start with Jonathan.
well, my week's been all right. You know what's crazy though? So I applied for a new job at T-Mobile like last month, like the day after my birthday, and
Okay.
I get an email from them saying, "Oh, sorry, we appreciate you applying, but you didn't make the cut." And then I checked my voicemail. A manager said, "Like, hey, we received your application. We just want to set up an interview with you." I'm like, "So why did I get that email?"
Disorganized.
Yeah, but whatever the case may be, I mean, I just gotta call the manager, set up an interview. So, because the pandemic cost me out of my last job, so had to do some job hunting to get back in the groove again. So there's
Oh
that.
man, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I need it. But yeah, also I was I've been binge watching some more GoGoFive. I'm like
Nice.
I'm almost at the halfway point of the show, so and I'm running a little bit on fumes because I had to wake up early to watch Dino Fury, and then I had to make my reaction video for the Space Jam trailer, so the life of a content creator. Sheesh.
Oh man, life is hard when you're popular, my friend.
Well, I don't call myself. I'm not that popular. I am not.
I'm joking, but I mean it's good. Like having stuff to do, I feel like, especially after a year of not going out doing a lot of stuff. I feel like being busy is good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Yo,
good. It's good.
Kind of speaking of, hey Josh, so you had a birthday come and go. So how was your week?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Thank you. It was fine. I worked.
It was a weekday, so I mean.
Yeah, my birthday is always at a weird time. Either it's during Passover, which it was again this year. Which when I was a kid growing up, that always made things hard because my family kept Passover, so it was all matzah, so I couldn't have like real cake or like really go out to dinner or do anything. Yeah, well, so Passover, you can't have anything with yeast in it.
Oh, that's all breads, all pastries.
I'm sure you've seen matzah before, right? Like
like matzo balls.
Well, so matzo balls are sort of matzah. It's made from matzah meal, which is like almost like more like breadcrumbs made from the stuff that you make matzah out of. But matzah itself, it looks like, imagine like a Triscuit with no salt and no flavoring, and
that sounds dry.
like maybe 7 inches by 7 inches.
Okay.
So
I did not know that's what it was.
Yeah, so it's basically just a giant cracker. Because of the whole unleavened bread thing, and it like the story of Passover itself is really interesting, but keeping the tradition and culturally everything that's with it in a modern society is kind of hard. It's easier here in LA than it was where I was in Florida or when I was growing up in Pennsylvania, just because there's so much access to, like, there's a much bigger Jewish community here, but it's
Same here in New York.
I like bread.
Oh yeah, New York is pretty big.
Yeah. So, I didn't really do much for my birthday because it's not like I could have a big party or anything anyway. So I figure later in the year when I can actually do stuff, I'll plan a big get together and everyone can come and wish me happy birthday and give me free stuff.
I know. For the past 2 years, it's been 2 years of quarantine birthday.
2 years in a row. But everyone else is in the same boat, so
yeah,
not a big deal.
What about you, Corey?
I did get my PS5.
I was gonna say, what is he? You got your PS5?
I got my PS5. Yeah.
Shit.
So I was able to order it from Walmart a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't supposed to get here until next week, but it showed up on my birthday. So I was like, all right, this This works. I'm happy.
Nice.
Cheers. You've
So
been waiting for that for a long time.
Yeah, forever. Now the only thing left that I have to get is a graphics card so I can actually build a computer, and then I've got everything that I've been trying to get over the past year.
So you plan on streaming? Later
Maybe.
on?
I started playing Spider-Man. That's the only game that I've purchased so far.
Excellent.
I've gotten.
Excellent.
I got the Final Fantasy VII remake because that was free on the PlayStation Network in March. I don't know what other games I want to get though, so I'm playing through the first Spider-Man, and then I'll go through Miles Morales after I'm done with that.
Get Cyberpunk.
I've got Cyberpunk. I've got it on my Xbox.
I guess the next thing I say get the Avengers game because they're about to release Black Panther.
I've got that one too.
Okay.
That was on sale about a month ago, so I picked it up for like $25 on the Xbox store.
Ooh, nice.
And then like right after that, they had released the next gen update, so it's good.
Cool.
What about you guys, Corey, L?
I got Megatron,
Oh,
Beast
nice.
Wars.
Dinobot, and I'm over here trying to customize my Grimlock, and I decided to read the instructions. And
I'm about to say, where's his head?
Oh yeah, because I have to get to these screws back here.
Oh dang!
And I decided to read the instructions because I've been trying to screw this in for the past 30 minutes, and the screws are acting funny. And it says it's just you push it in and it fits. You don't need to screw it. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's not a screw. That's like a peg.
Yeah, I just peg it in. So the original one screws in. So I was just trying to swap them, logic.
Okay.
But I read the directions and realized the new one doesn't need screws. So I'm like, okay, thanks. It helps to read instructions before you damage your things.
And that Grimlock is from the not the Prime War show, the War for Cyber generation.
The 86 Transformers the movie. 86, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a bunch of Beast Bots on my table right now.
So, Corey, I think what you need to do is take all of your Transformers and do a stop motion video to Stan Bush's The Touch.
Yo!
I love those
my
kinds
dang
of things.
Transformers, I got too many.
Oh, dang.
Jesus Christ!
I think I've only got like one. I've got.
That looks pretty
got
cool. You got your whole
Megazord.
setup
I've
too.
I've got Bumblebee. That's it.
That's actually pretty cool
that's
too.
actually Grimlock, Josh.
Whatever.
I didn't see it. So.
No, this
I know.
Grimlock.
I was seeing the Megazords. I like
That's
your Dragon
Grimlock.
Zord.
We both got a Grimlock. What are you talking about?
You just put it on the screen like, I got Bumblebee. I'm like, that's Grimlock.
I actually do
whatever.
have a Bumblebee somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Same.
I don't know. I'm just gonna do that with it now.
It is like maybe he renamed him Bumblebee, man. Like I don't know. Sometimes I name my action figures something different than what they be.
Bumblebee.
All right.
But yeah.
So, Lightspeed Rescue.
Let's get into it. We have
Right before we start, I just want to jump into the chat here really quick.
Sure.
We've got Thomas Franco, who just went for a walk, so he's not actually here anymore. Pikachu Master 542, Jared Hodges, Edward Sanchez Productions, and the Honorable Kung Lao.
Lao, good luck in Mortal Kombat.
That's a cool name.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm so excited for the Mortal Kombat movie. I haven't watched Kong yet. I still need to watch the others, but Mortal Kombat.
I seen it. Oh shit! I seen it last night. I swiped my screen. I'm sorry.
Oops.
It's okay. It's quick. I'm probably
Well,
gonna
yeah.
drop my phone over a couple times.
All right, don't lean back.
I know I motion with my hands and then like the whole headphones thing. I gotta work on like plain chill. My hands need to stay down here. I'm not a tech person. I'm still working off an iPhone 6. I don't even know if earbuds work
Wow.
Hey, they'll work. Trust me.
on this. Okay. I might look into it in the future.
We also got, just jumping into the chat, Craig Anderson just joined us. Gabriel Sane joined us from Brazil. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
And Psycho002711, who is here for Joel's love story.
Oh, man.
Good man.
Is that the love story with him and Miss Fairweather, or the love story between him and himself?
Him.
Oh,
Mr.
Josh. But yeah, we are doing
sorry, I'm being
Retro Ranger
unprofessional
wrap up.
right now.
We are talking about Lightspeed Rescue, and we are on episodes 7, 8, and 9.
7, 8, and 9. Yes, I think
7,
I put
8, and
7.
9.
I think I put 7 to 10.
Yeah, you did. And I actually
Oh.
did watch all 4 episodes.
Oh, I didn't either. Well,
I only
despite the
watched 3.
description,
I only watched 3, so it's
we're
all
only
good.
doing
Yeah,
3
okay.
today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wrong. See, it's because
Math is hard.
It's because 7 plus 3 is 10.
It's 10.
Yeah,
So I did,
That's fair. That's fair.
it's a long
it's
day.
okay. When I shorten October, I always write the month as 8 because I'm like, oct. Like that
Right.
prefix should be
Right.
8.
It
Why
should
is
be.
October 10?
It used to be 8.
insult my
but that's
birthday month, all right?
That's a
All
long
right, all right. I'll
story.
leave
10.
it alone. I'll leave it
It's
alone.
a 10.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Corey, why don't you give us a rundown
Yeah.
of what this first episode was? Episode 7,
Oh.
the Cyborg Ranger.
Cyborg Rangers.
Oh,
This is the second team of robot rangers we got in the Power Ranger universe. I mean, as of chronologically.
So, what was the first one?
The Turbo robots.
Rangers.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
That was a trip. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
they're all robots. Like, what?
That was that was trippy. That was a pretty fun episode.
But it seems like Lightspeed Rescue is a larger organization as opposed to just what's in the Aqua base. Oh, my noise canceling was on, so I'm like, why? Yes, okay, but yeah, a general, what's his name?
McKnight.
Yeah, there we go. General McKnight comes through with his Cyborg Rangers and his red Lightspeed Rescue logo. And he's like, "Hey, we don't need you guys anymore. We got effing robots. So let's go." And they tried to they replaced the Rangers for a little bit, and the Rangers were fired for like half a day.
Yep.
And then robots don't have hearts. They suck when they get struck by lightning, and the Rangers come through and do what they do best.
Yeah, that's pretty succinct. I
Pretty
don't know.
much.
I was down with the Robot Rangers, to be honest. If you could send some drones in to avoid casualties of real human life, I'm kind of all about that. I would hope they would revisit it. I know they're not because it's Power Rangers, but realistically, if you can like develop robots like that were like pretty darn effective, minus lightning bolts, but
Yeah, they
you
can't
know.
take hits because they'll just shatter.
But still, to be like scouting or to like have them in other like locations, I don't know. I thought it was a
Yeah.
pretty good idea.
So did any of you think two things first? Did any of you think that McKnight was supposed to be like a crap? Wait, I just lost his name. Tommy Lee Jones. Like he felt like he was like this was like Tommy Lee Jones doing.
No, now that you mention it,
like
it's kind of sort of just a little bit.
It felt like that's who they wanted for the role, but knew that they would never be able to get Tommy Lee Jones because it's Power Rangers.
Oh
Yeah.
So they got this other dude to dress up and pretend to be Patton.
Mm.
Because the pants and the little whip thing, I was like, that's it was so
I don't
funny.
know.
But
Yeah,
I also jumping ahead to episode 3, just very, very briefly, I had to do a double take of the bus driver because I thought it was the same guy that played McKnight.
Chad?
And yeah.
Oh, McKnight.
They just
Oh.
used them again.
Like, I had to stop the episode and go back for a second because I was like, wait, is that the same? Like, did this guy get fired from the army and now has to drive a bus? Like, what's going on?
Oh,
He's like,
the
General
bus driver
McKnight.
guy.
Yeah.
Got
He's like,
it.
you messed up, buddy, with them Cyborg Rangers. You're out of here. Then he's driving a bus.
Man, that is a massive change in career choice from being like a general into going to a bus driver.
Oh, something I remember last week I was telling you about the helmets, how you could see the rebreather.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the with the Red Ranger, with the Red Cyborg Ranger, his helmet kind of.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah.
You can see that it's a person behind it.
Yeah, you can see in the helmet as opposed to the visor open up. And
Yeah.
It's just
Mm.
a hole in the helmet, But yeah. Other than that, it's not too much about this episode. Really.
I know. Do you guys have a lot to say?
Yeah,
I thought
I don't
It was a American episode. So I mean, oh yeah, the monster, the spike needle monster.
Yeah.
They reused that suit in Wild Force. He's a mute org, so they
The
repaint the
headpiece.
suit.
They use the head of the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that
we
kind of makes
seeing
sense.
that face
They
again.
do that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Reusing the costumes or just repainting them, which I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
it's cost
we won't
effective.
recognize that at all.
Like I felt this episode was really predictable. Like going into it, I was like, oh, these robots are going to malfunction and start fighting the others instead of the enemies, and then that's pretty much exactly what happened. But I was confused. Why did the scientists who built them have a joystick?
I
That's
don't
how you
know.
control robots, man.
I
And
don't
they're
know?
not even cyborgs. They're robots. A cyborg
They're
means
robots.
they're human. They have human elements.
with machine in the inside. So they're
Yeah.
let's they should just call them Robot Rangers.
They should call them Robot Rangers again.
Yeah,
Or-
I don't know. I just found
Rangers
like
or
the his over the shoulder like thing was kind of cool looking, but then he has this joystick. And I'm like, what's the point of the joystick? Like he's not
To
actually
control.
because he's not like actually controlling what direction they're going in. He's not like making them do anything. He's just
He's controlling all five with one joystick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, that's.
Hey, I mean,
that's kind of. I guess they all just follow the leader. So he's
Yeah.
controlling red, and it's kind of like a video game.
Yeah.
they,
have
the other ones
NPCs
have
and they just
AI.
kinda
The other
follow
ones
you.
have AI. They follow Red and kind of follow
Yeah.
his lead and fill in,
And
you know,
then-
based
and
off of the
then their fight
algorithms
pa-
and stuff.
Yeah, their fight patterns are based off his actions and algorithms, like you said, and science.
Power Rangers. We don't question it.
No, we don't.
Looking in the chat really quick, Donnie Pearson has joined us. How's it going, Donnie? Larry New Bill is here. And Jared Hodges says, but the Cyborg Rangers fighting when he's talking about he says I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to say. I think he's just pointing out the fight between the Cyborg Rangers and the Lightning Demon, and that it was a cool fight.
Yeah. It was a good episode. I mean,
I
I don't know. The Doppelganger Power Rangers has been used a lot. We have robot ones.
Yeah.
A little bit different. And they're not inherently evil, you know? So I was like, all right, it's a little bit of a change. The costumes look way, way better than the Dark Rangers.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I can't
knew you-
complain. I can't complain.
Fucking Dark Rangers. The
Yo,
sock
Dark Ranger's
puppets.
still my favorite.
Puppet. Zed Rangers.
Just has like cuts for the eyes, all red.
And their
But they
eyes
have
are all
legit
like this,
suits.
they're all life-size.
Yeah, they're all wonky. The mouth is all wonky. Like, I don't know. I thought it was legit. It was a very classic kind of Power Ranger episode, in my opinion. Thought it was fine. Don't have a lot to say about it, though.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It was-
It's like the episode was just kind of there. Like
It was a solid episode. You know,
yeah,
it was fun.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just it existed.
I actually noticed a little bit of something when they were when they had to give up their morphers.
Oh.
I like how when first of all, the dude that grabbed Chad's arm. First of all, you don't ever grab a man who's about to do something. And second of all, the fact that Joel was the last one to put his morpher in the box. I knew the way how he was just looking at the spare weather, putting it away. I'm like, watch this man try to get off and run and not give his morpher up. Like, trust me, that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. Like, you want the morpher back? You weren't getting it back, suckers. I'm out of here.
Catch me first.
I'm actually surprised. That would fit his character, too. That would have been way funnier, way more realistic, to be honest.
It was just funny to me that it was like, okay, here are these robots. We haven't actually really tested them in the field a lot, just this one time. But we're gonna let you guys.
They did really well.
So we're gonna let you guys go now, and yeah, that's gonna be for the best.
Something I just noticed after all these years, like I kind of have this eye. I could be wrong, but like I noticed like how some of the stunt actors fight, and I can kind of tell who's in the suit. And
Oh, wow.
the guy who's in the red Cyborg Ranger, he does this kick how he holds his leg up. You're gonna see that kick again when the Titanium Ranger shows up. So I'm like,
interesting.
maybe that's the same guy that's in the Titanium Ranger suit.
Probably,
I'm like,
probably same suit actor. Hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
man, that would
you
be
don't see a
super
kick
cool.
like that too much. I'm like, no, that leg stood up for a good 2 seconds. I'm like, I can't. No, that's hard to do. I'm telling you.
Dude, that's a really good observation, though. I
Yeah.
kind of want to rewatch it just for that.
Yeah, Corey Gibson's just here for the fights, and I watch him over and over and over and
Over again.
No. But yeah, if you guys in the chat want to give your ratings on this episode, how would you guys rate it?
I give it a 5 out of 5 just because I love Power Ranger versus Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's the evil doppelganger or just like an evil copycat in general. If the copycat is good, if as long as they're good. If they're not, if they're like the Dark Rangers, then no. And
Yo, those are so good. That's
actually,
a 5 out of 5.
I noticed something though when I was as I was paying attention to Cyborg Rangers. I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, they do have black gloves and black boots. I'm like, wait a minute, what other evil group of Rangers had dark gloves and boots? Like the Mutant Rangers. I was like, why?
Oh yeah, they had the gray boots and the
yeah. I'm like, why didn't I notice that before?
And then in Ninja Steel, when those Borg Rangers, the Robot Army.
Oh, those those Robot Ranger Army, man.
25 years in the future.
Yeah.
All right, so I while I jump into the errors and notes here, which are probably all just notes and not really errors.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. My bad.
Let's ask the chat, all of you guys who are watching, what did you guys think of this episode? What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 5? Let us know what you thought. What you like? What you didn't like? Give us one of each. Like it's like say I really liked this about the episode, but this was really stupid. Just for fun. So errors. This one is actually kind of an error. We talked about this already. Human face is clearly seen when Red Cyborg lowers his visor.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a costume mishap.
Well, they are cyborgs, though, right? So that's that human
so
element.
if there's a person in there,
I mean,
we were wrong. They ain't robots.
So
they are cyborgs.
So that's the next. The Robot Rangers are called cyborgs when android should have been more accurate. A cyborg is typically half organic and half mechanical. But they did never say that. They didn't tell us that they were completely robotic. For all we know, they could have scavenged the grounds around Angel Grove for people who were killed in other monster attacks and repurposed their bodies into be new Rangers.
Or like
gruesome.
the darker story, some soldiers from Lightspeed offered up their bodies for a project and didn't know they're getting turned into cyborgs.
Yeah, I've seen RoboCop. I know how it works.
Kamen Rider wants their money back.
Despite General McKnight calling the Rangers kids, they're more like adults, as said about Ryan being 20 years old later on in the season. I mean,
that's just an old man thing.
Yeah.
I
kid
this punk kid, and he's like 25.
Yeah, I like some 80-year-old person call me kid, recently.
Young whippersnappers.
I'm 40. Come on.
I mean, if he's like 70, then yeah, you're a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. The scene where General McKnight angrily smacks his baton, he starts turning around as he did moments earlier, indicating that the shots had been altered. This is most likely due to bad editing. Yeah, it's kind of a continuity thing.
I mean, bad editing happens and everything.
That's Power Rangers. They're the king of bad editing.
Mm-hmm. And the notes is this episode has similar plot to episode 5. Finish it. This is an underhanded battle from Denji Sentai Mega Ranger in the sense where the higher-ups of the organization of the team worked for attempts to intervene due to the lack of confidence of their ability to defeat the enemy. The only difference is their attempt to gain control of the team's mecha by installing an AI system, which, like in this episode, their plan backfires, forcing the team to regain control.
I don't remember episode 5 of Mega Ranger.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so I do not remember it either.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No.
I mean,
I did,
but I don't remember that particular episode of Mega Ranger, but...
Yeah, I probably seen. I just don't remember. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think so, because then I think in Power Rangers in Space, it's like, oh, Alpha take control of the robot, and then that was Alpha using it, but then in Mega Ranger, it was like a different incident. I think. No, never mind. Let's move on.
All right. So was that all of our errors and notes for that
was.
episode? So Jonathan already gave it a 5 out of 5. Let's go to Josh. How would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah,
all right.
It's solid in the middle. Again, there was nothing that I didn't like. There was nothing that stuck out about it that was like, oh, this is horrible, this is dumb, why are they doing this? But there was nothing that stuck out as like, oh, this is fantastic, this is great, this is absolutely the best episode ever. So I feel like 3 out of 5 is like solid middle of the road.
Yeah, that is
good.
solid.
Not great, not bad.
What about you, Corey? How would you rate this?
3.
All right, I think that's kind of around. I don't know. Thinking about it more, I was gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4. Like, I kind of like this doppelganger. They are stronger. Their suits were good. It was interesting. It was a new kind of a spin on having the doubles kind of fight each other. But yeah, it was a solid episode. It was all right. It was entertaining enough. I just wish there's more because they've done this so many times and like different kind of variants. I'm waiting for the time where it's like they almost lose. I feel like the Psycho Rangers are probably one of my favorites.
Oh,
they're
you're gonna get
best.
more. You're gonna get more Evil Rangers soon.
Oh, nice.
Real soon.
Oh, maybe I should lower my score to a 3 so I can
Yeah,
Go
set the
over
bar.
there.
I'm setting the bar kind of high already.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot that happens.
But yeah, what do we have in the chat? Did anyone give us
let me
their...
go to the chat. I'm getting cross talk from other things that are going on today. So let me see here. Let me go through the chat really quick. Jared Hodges says the Shadow Rangers from Turbo. I think that's when you were talking about the robots from the earlier episodes.
Yeah.
Honorable Kung Lao says getting fired is better than a peace conference, Africa or Alien Ranger Water Planet. Not sure what that means.
Oh, I guess being written off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aisha.
Aisha just went to Africa. Bye.
Yep.
See y'all
Left her
later.
family. Yep.
Oh yeah, and Billy just went to the Alien Ranger planet.
Yeah, he went to Aquatar, and the other ones went to the peace conference, and Jason came back.
Yeah, Jason came back. And
Only one came back out of the 3.
Jason came back with a degree in Zordology or something.
I don't know.
Like
we all know they're off being Omega Rangers. That's the real story.
Yeah, that's the real story.
Let's see. Pikachu Master 542 gives it a 3 out of 5 because all he remembers is Science Guy with a joystick, the Rangers giving up their powers, and the Cyborg Rangers. I don't know that the Rangers really gave up their powers because like they don't really have powers here. It's all the suit stuff that they're like.
I mean, they gave
morphine.
away their morpher though.
Yeah,
like they just
it's,
let him
I
have
feel like
it.
it's like Iron Man. Like they're just like, okay, here's my suit.
Because like Power Rangers is funny because sometimes the power is just in a morpher, you use it, and then you become a Power Ranger. Other times the powers get like ingrained in your DNA. So
it's like imbued into you as a person.
Drained out of you.
Yeah, like in the 2017 movie, it was like they had the power inside of them, but then the suits were more like armor that gave them additional enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Jared Hodges says Chad said it's like kicking a steel door while fighting Cyborg, fighting the Blue Cyborg Ranger against the real Blue Ranger. Also, he gives the episode a solid 5, and Donnie Pearson gives it a 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
And that is everything we got in the chat. So Donnie Pearson has doubled our scores.
I don't know. I think fractions reduced though, but
Sure.
yes.
I'm not a math guy.
No.
Yeah, episode 7 through 10.
Right, yeah.
We got that. All right, but let's jump into the second one. Nose goes for what episode was the second one? Was that the Chad focused episode?
Yep.
Yeah, the next episode is Up to the Challenge.
Finally, we get a little focus on our fish friend, not whale.
Why don't you take the lead on this one?
Yo, I don't even know what's going on. He wakes up and he was like, him and Kelsey have a moment where she's supposed to be like super hot-headed and fiery, but there was nothing in the past that made me think that. Like, yeah, she's like crazy, but I wouldn't say that she's like out of control.
I mean, that is her middle name.
Yeah, but crazy and kind of being like a hot-headed, like not being able to control your emotions. Or maybe, kind of the
I
same.
mean, I don't look at it as though she's not able to control her emotions. More that she just doesn't necessarily think things through before doing them. Like she's just like, oh, this is the best course of action. I'm going to do it. Oh wait, no, maybe that wasn't the best.
You're right. She went into the street, saved the puppy, stopped in the middle of the street, didn't notice her surroundings. So yeah, I guess that does follow the characterization. I was a little sad with Chad though, saying like, "Oh, you play with the fish every morning." I'm like, what? What an odd thing to say. We already saw in the title sequence that he rides killer whales. I don't know when that's going to come into play.
I really wanted him to be like. Yeah. I want him to be like the Power Ranger version of Aquaman, where like he rides into battle using a couple of dolphins as jet skis.
Yeah, like I thought there was gonna be more to his episode than there was. I'm a little disappointed. It went a little to like diverted towards speed, where everyone's riding a bus and there's like a bus jacking, and one of the bad guys proves that he can drive a bus. I don't know. I don't feel like there was a whole lot.
Ahead to the next episode.
That was. What was the second one?
This episode was where the Johnny from the Karate Kid comes and tries to kick his ass.
You're right, dude. Those last two, they just. I'm gonna be honest. Those kind of blended together. Both of these were not great, but Chad's episode, I feel like we didn't get a whole lot about him, to be honest.
Like I was disappointed that I don't remember what the dude's name was.
Brian.
I was a little sad that he didn't turn into more of like an ongoing threat. That at the end he was just kind of like, oh yeah, you were right. I should be a better person.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was possessed. He was evil for a little bit. He had evil intentions. He got the red eyes.
No.
However, do you want an interesting fact about Brian?
All right, what you got, Josh?
So the actor that played Brian is David Leitch, or Leitch. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his last name.
Never heard of him.
Well, you actually have, because he directed Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
Wait,
and,
what?
Co-directs the John Wick with Chad Stahelski.
No way! Yep. Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, he went and got a real job,
right?
Wow, someone came up.
So like, I wonder if like he's like one of the first like, hey, Power Rangers don't necessarily have to go on to just be Power Rangers.
I mean, there's Bryan Cranston as well.
Yeah, but he was just like he just did like a voice for a one-off character though. Like he wasn't.
Yeah,
like...
I mean that's the same difference in a
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was a one-off character. Man, I would have had no idea. That is actually a really fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
about
interesting
4
to see.
People of Power Rangers that did big things. About 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a few. I mean, Amy Jo Johnson.
They're successful in like different ways.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you brought this up, Josh, in the first episode when you guys did Lightspeed Rescue, but fun fact, Amy Adams was supposed to be the Pink Ranger.
Really?
I did not bring that up, but I do remember hearing that now.
Oh shoot, that would have been crazy. I wonder what kind of career trajectory she would have had she done Power Rangers. Do you know why she didn't take it?
Probably, yeah, she probably would have done it was something Hollywood probably would have said no.
Being a Power Ranger screws up your career or something like that. That's what I heard.
Well, I mean, not for everyone.
Not for everyone. Like back when this was on, when this series was on, that's when it's like was slowly started to move beyond that. Because like from the first like 5 seasons, I don't really know that many of them have gone to. I mean, they're all successful in their own right, but I don't know that many of them have gone on to be like A-listers or But it's not to take away from any talent that they might have. It's just
there's a stigma attached to it. Like unfortunately, like that's kind of what happened previously with Power Rangers. So I mean, we don't make the rules. It just kind of happened that way. But that's crazy that he would have this kind of short role in this one episode and then go on to do all kinds of crazy things. Because honestly, as you guys can tell, this episode did not leave a lasting impact on me. I cut the first half and merged it with the second half. of the third episode. That's how relevant it was to me.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Like there's so little going on in this episode that there's not even any notes or errors on the fandom page for it.
Wow.
Yeah, this episode was just
Filler.
it's whatever.
Considering
He had
it was
beef with
his-
Chad for no reason. I'm like, why are you mad at what he do?
No. His girlfriend provoked him to do it. So
It's true. She was, and the thing is, what's crazy is these people are adults. Like, I kind of get this if this was still kind of like a high school bullying kind of thing, but I'm like, you guys are grown adults and you're like taunting him. The one major thing that I was like, yeah, it was so weird.
I was like, how old are you? 5?
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
Right? It was the most ridiculous stuff. But I did like that they filmed at, if you're wondering where that bell was at not the beginning, but where they encounter
Karate Temple.
Yeah,
VI
it's a
Troopers.
Korean Bell up in San Pedro in LA. So I thought that was kind of cool. But
Nice.
other than that, there was no major standouts. I guess to keep peace, you don't have to prove yourself. There was trying to be a good message for the audience out there that, like, you have nothing to prove. You shouldn't engage. There's no reason to engage. Just, I mean, it was good enough. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
It was all right. Again, it wasn't anything great. It wasn't. There was nothing. There just wasn't anything there. It just like even more than the last episode. This one literally just exists, and
you
that's
feel
about
kind of
it.
bad for him. Like, I wanted Chad to be kind of bolstered up, and at the end, like, this is the one where Kelsey was like, "I'm going to teach you how to talk to girls." I was like, "Yo, why does he have to be like?"
You know what I
like
said?
that,
you know what I said at the end of that part? I was like, you know what? Why don't you have Dana help him out with that? Because Kelsey, if you look at Kelsey is pretty much more of a tomboy. She's
Kelsey's not gonna give good advice. I don't even think she's aware of like her surroundings, of people's like, you know, she's not a good reader of other people. You know,
not really. She's more.
I wouldn't trust her on dating advice, to be honest. I think she'd lead him down the wrong path a little bit.
She would. That's why I was like, let Dana handle the dating.
Yeah,
advice.
for sure. Or like Fairweather, like anyone else, literally anyone else. I think could
or
offer
Joel,
probably,
or ask Joel.
I would not ask Joel. The
No.
only one worse than Kelsey would be Joel.
Maybe
at this
ask
point.
Joel and then do the exact opposite of whatever he says.
Yeah, that for sure. But I feel like Chad got the short end of the stick on his focused episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into this chat here really quick before we go to scores. Matthew Thompson joined us. Hey Matthew, what's going on, man? Kung Lao, the Honorable Kung Lao, says that the Korean Bell of Friendship location used in this episode, which is cool. Jared Hodges, more evil Rangers to come, especially Operation Overdrive and Mystic Force. Back to our conversation about the evil Rangers. Let's see. Pikachu Master gives his rating. He's giving it a 2 out of 5. All he remembers is Chad kicking butt, and yeah, that's about it. Matthew Thompson. Several Power Rangers went on to do other things, but many of them were from later seasons, like Rose MacGyver, Adelaide Kane from RPM. Like I know Rose MacGyver from iZombie, Adelaide Kane. Like I know her from something else. I don't remember what it was.
She was in the Purge, the first Purge.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I keep forgetting she's in that.
Serena Vincent went on to do. She was in Cabin in the Woods and Not Another Teen Movie,
so good.
and a few other things.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing a mom on Disney Channel.
Was
a mom. That show is over.
There was someone else. The Diva Talks. She was in like a bunch of like 80s movies.
Yeah, she was in like 80s movies. I think she was also in like a sitcom in the 80s.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, there's a handful of them scattered around that have done that. Like I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying that none of them go on to do.
It was
anything.
just surprising that like a one-off character happened to like direct all of these crazy movies.
Right, yeah.
Like that's something we don't. It's an exception kind of in Power Rangers.
Yeah,
but...
exactly. Let's see. Jared Hodges says it's definitely a Chad episode and him dealing with Kelsey learning Tai Chi. And the Honorable Kung Lao says that Kelsey uses the Red Ranger's bike in this episode because GoGoFive only had the red motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
what about you guys? What are your ratings for this episode that we got here?
I give it a 3.5. I was gonna give it a 4, but a 4 is a little too steep. But 3.5 is subtle because I'll have to disagree with Elle how she feels about this. This being a Chad focused episode, but I actually like this a little bit more because I'll admit though, because when I was when I was rewatching Lightspeed Rescue last year, I always felt like Chad didn't really do much. But as I was, this is just one focused episode. He does get more later on. So
Okay.
yeah. This, if you didn't like this one, you probably will like another one.
Okay, good to know.
A lot
good
better.
to know.
So yeah, 3.5 for me on this.
All right. Yeah, I think for me this was it was another average one. I kind of forgot about that whole thing, to be honest. I was a little let down. I don't know. I mean, I want to give it a higher score because I think it does deserve it, but upon my initial watch, like this was like a 2 for me. It was a little, I don't even remember like the monster. To be honest,
was it Scorcher? Something?
Smoker, something like
Smoker.
that.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Smoxer.
And he rolled into a ball.
Yeah, he was a
Smogger.
roly-poly, like rolling
Smogger.
around for like.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
Smogger.
was like the main villain was the other guy. Was the kid that he had to like the other guy motorcycle biker dude. Like
Yeah.
it was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 2. It was
All right.
like, again, there was nothing inherently bad about it.
I like Brian's energy. That's all. That was about it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
can give a lot
Like
of energy.
I like Brian was fun, but I felt like he was Johnny from The Karate Kid, more or less.
Yeah, he was just a little punk.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Do-
I don't.
Any more scores in the chat? Or are we moving on to the third?
No more scores in the chat, but we do have Honorable Kung Lao, who is echoing that Serena Vincent was in Cabin Fever, and Anna Hutchison was in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, Cabin Fever. See, this is what happens when we have two movies that have both cabin in
Right?
the title.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston, as we mentioned before, was also a one-off character, and Battlestar Galactica.
What?
What's up, PSG?
Is trying to figure out how a version of him from 20 years ago is on the stream.
Here we go.
No, I know.
Here we
It's time travel, man. The morphing grid brought you here 20 years ago.
Let's just
I
say
don't know how to.
let's just say I'm the future Trunks. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Future Trunks.
Yes, I'm future Trunks.
All right.
Let's just say
From,
that.
in the past.
No, from the future.
But we're he's from the future.
So is this still your future, or is this the past?
Alternate future. Alternate future. Dragon Ball Super. The alternate. Forget it. Let's move on.
Time travel.
All right, we got one more episode to dive into.
Going volcanic. This is the first of the two-parter. So we kind of split this one in half. We probably should have watched episode 10.
I did anyway, but it's fine.
But that's fine. So this was the first appearance of Queen Banshira. We'd been hearing about her for the past 8 episodes, but this is the first
I
time
know
we
she left her
actually
baby.
kinda
Where's
saw
she
her.
been? What's she been doing?
You hear Impus keep saying, "Mama."
Yeah,
Mama.
He was like the original Baby Yoda.
baby Yoda don't talk about really.
I won't even go that far.
Yeah,
Mm.
no man. He's like a Furby. He's like a Furby and a Gremlin and that dinosaur's baby that
That's
from
a good
back in
mix.
the 90s.
That's a good mix. That's a good mix.
They're like,
Yeah, actually,
Did I
you know what? You're right.
mention
He
that,
does kind of look like the baby from Dinosaurs.
Did I mention that in GoGoFive, all the villains are siblings and all the Rangers are siblings?
I was gonna bring that up.
I
Oh,
don't
really?
believe you did.
Yeah, the Rangers are
Diabolical,
siblings and the villains are siblings.
Vipra and all of them, they are siblings. The Saima, and then the GoGoFive team, they're all siblings, and their dad gave them powers.
that's actually kind of cool. I feel like the stakes are raised when it becomes a family affair. That would have been.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of
That's
interested to see like the
When the
Sentai.
Red Ranger gave Yellow the noogie, that was out of character for Carter, but
Yeah.
if you think about it,
yeah, like that
the
was really
Sentai's-
weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's actually kind of fun. I like that twist for the Sentai series. It wouldn't have worked here with the American audience, I don't think, though.
It would look weird.
I mean, I've been waiting for. I mean, they can do it. I mean, they can just say they adopt it, and then you can still have the.
So you're looking like
Like a-
Shazam,
like a
like a
Fantastic
Shazam.
Four Shazam type thing.
Yeah.
Or like they did in Kamen Rider, they had Max Rider. I mean, they had that weird adopted family. It was so strange, but I mean, it could be done. I mean, back in the Disney days, they weren't trying to be all too diverse. I felt they could have done it in Mystic Force or something.
Mm.
So okay, was there anything in this episode that kind of stuck out to you guys that you liked, that you didn't like? I know we were talking about it. Just
I
kinda
found this.
like,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there's a gun in this episode.
Dang it,
There is.
Corey.
Gun.
Dang it, Corey. Took my line. Jeez.
It's
Okay.
true. Like we never see that. We have blasters and all kinds of other weapons, but not a straight up.
You don't hear
Gun.
people
Pistol.
say straight up gun in
Yeah.
Power Rangers. You just
Yeah.
say, oh, a blaster or a saber. You don't hear people
Yeah.
say sword. You just.
I remember seeing that in 1999. I was like, "Whoa, it's a gun on a kids show."
And I'm surprised at the fact that this episode, when it was on Netflix, they kept everything in there. Even the scene with him holding the gun, the scene with the bus being tipped over and everything. I'm just like, so many scenes in this episode, I feel like should not still be on today, but they still kept it.
because it's weird because when 9/11 happened, the episode, it was one of the episodes when the time shadow first appeared, and they cut out a lot of the buildings blowing up in Time Force, and even on the Netflix version, it's still the edited version of that. So like I only have that memory of my head, like, but I can still see the cut of where I'm sorry, brain fart. But yeah, I don't think like the original version is out there anymore of that Time Force episode. But yeah, they didn't cut a gun out, and it's still there.
What's kind of funny to me about this episode is Shay and I watched Speed last night.
Oh, okay.
Just
Being
like,
on the bus. Yeah.
flipping through HBO Max. They were like, oh yeah, you know, we were eating my brownies and trying to find something to watch at the same time. And that was what we stopped on.
Yeah.
You said
and then Speed.
Oh, with Keanu Reeves.
You can't go under 60 miles an hour.
Which is funny for two reasons, because in this episode we got the bus.
Yeah.
And a guy pulling out a gun on a bus. But in the previous episode we got David Leitch, who he's worked with on all the John Wick stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the circle.
Yeah.
Connections.
It's all
But yeah,
connected.
I don't know. Is a bus different to drive than any other vehicle?
It's bigger. Like, I've never driven a bus, but I've driven a couple of like large RVs and like moving trucks, like 24-foot moving trucks.
Like, you do need a different license to carry that many people with you in a vehicle.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, are the mechanics of driving different?
The mechanics of driving, as long as it's an automatic, are going to be the same. But because of how big the vehicle is, they're a lot harder to control.
I guess, but they were just kind of driving on straight, it kind of seemed like. And everyone's like, does anyone know how to drive a bus? The question is, anyone know how to drive? Like, yeah, if you're riding the bus, you may not have a vehicle, but do you know how to drive one? And I'm sure the Power Rangers drive all kinds of stuff.
Cars.
I mean, like, the Power Rangers drive Zords without any training whatsoever. I'm pretty sure one of them could just driven the bus.
But, and you know, Sandra Bullock popped behind the wheel in Speed, and she didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a misconception. Like, I've never driven a bus, so I don't know how hard it is. But like, I feel like it's not that hard.
Have you ever driven
Gas
a moving truck, like a U-Haul?
I've driven like for production, actually, for G4 for Comic-Con. Like, there was like that longer van that has multiple rows.
Oh yeah, like a 15-seat
like 15 or 16 passenger van. And that's probably one of the bigger ones that I've driven. But I don't know. But maybe because you're just on the roads and it's fine. Like, there's signals and I don't know. I didn't have issues, but I don't know. I thought that was weird. It was like, who knows how to drive a bus? And everyone's like, no. And the bad guy's like, I do. I used to drive buses before I turned to a life of crime.
I used to be a bus driver.
Well, I used to be a bus driver.
Yeah.
But then one day he used the bus as a getaway vehicle and everything went south.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that story. That's all good. I don't know. The episode was kind of weird. It was set up weird. The gun thing, like you mentioned, I was kind of shocked that was in there. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about this episode, to be honest, you guys.
Yeah, neither do I. It was just kind of there. Like, why? Like, I don't understand why Dana even had to take a bus. Like, they didn't have multiple vehicles that she could have used.
She didn't want
to take her bike.
She didn't want to take her bike. She just wanted to take the bus so it could make it feel adventurous. She didn't want to wait up for the guys.
But what kind of bus goes to a volcano?
Yeah. A tourist attraction.
Wasn't it a tour bus?
Yes, it was a tour bus.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like I thought it was regular like public transit.
No, it's a tour. But that's
like, yeah.
Nope.
That was a good choice. Public transportation.
That's why I was really confused.
Stinky bus.
Why is this a better choice than just being like, I'll take a Jeep?
But yeah, I didn't understand why I don't know. The whole logic, I guess, to make the story happen. This one was kind of heavy-handed with that for plot reasons, but. Yeah. I mean, they had the whole redemption thing where it's like, yeah, I made some bad choices. I'm going to take my time to fix that and reflect on my life. And I'm like, good for you, ex-bus driver, now current bus driver, now like convict. I don't know. But I mean, you try to have a good message in there. So I'm okay with that. It's not a 0. It's not a 1, but it's definitely not a 5 in my opinion.
Something else that was really weird to me was the music in this episode like rehashed from Lost Galaxy.
A lot of the music in going forward from like Lost Galaxy through Time Force, it's completely rehashed. By the time they get to Wild Force, the music is totally different. Like, because Wild Force has those episodes sometimes during fights. They won't techno. Sometimes techno. Sometimes they won't even have music playing during the fights just to make it very ambient and everything.
Yeah.
So
honestly, it took me out of the episode because I'm watching it and I hear the music. I was like, wait a second, this is exactly the same as the music that we had in Lost Galaxy, but it's also like a really weird place for this style of music to be used.
Yeah, because the music direction is really because
it didn't fit.
Yeah, because Ron Wiseman, who's like in charge of doing like the insert themes, insert songs, and everything, by the time they get to Lost Galaxy, they stopped everything. Everything's all orchestral, which I don't have a problem with. It's still good anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like this. I was just honestly a little disappointed by the episode because the story was just kind of whatever. Like it was almost like non-existent. Like I felt like the main story of this was the redemption of the guy on the bus.
Yeah.
Like none of the other stuff really mattered. It was just this guy like redeeming himself for like I guess robbing a bank or something.
And we're never gonna see him again.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We're never gonna see. Like, why do we invest so much like sympathy into this guy? That
because here's the thing. There's always. With these kind of episodes, it's a throwaway character. You put this one character in a situation, a ranger meets this character, the ranger's supposed to help this throwaway character, rethink their situation, rethink their life, and like, okay, by the time you see them at the end of the episode, you see them doing something different, trying to better themselves. That's the trope.
I mean, I kind of like that. Now that you explain it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Not only are they heroes as Power Rangers, but they are good people in general who are trying to help better society. I don't know, maybe that's a pull. But like,
yeah,
I like
mean,
that. I like that a lot.
Like, I'm fine with that being like an overall theme of like the episodes. It felt like that was the main thing going on here. Like there was no like, okay, so we met Queen Bathsheba in this episode, but so what? Like I feel like nothing.
You'll see.
Yeah,
you'll see her again.
Deal. It's all about her.
Yeah, it is.
She just showed up and dipped. I was like,
yeah, it was just.
It
was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, because the only reason I know this was a 2-parter is from reading that it was a 2-parter online. Like there was no like to be continued or.
It didn't feel like a 2-parter.
Yeah, it just felt like this was just like a regular episode.
It's just going into the next episode. It's just continuing from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more episodic, I guess you could say. It's not necessarily connected to the storyline of the first.
Yeah.
And do we have any notes and errors for this one?
Before, real quick, characters like these, the kind of one-off characters and the kids they help. Yeah, I always thought it would be cool if Sentai or Power Rangers just kind of made a Power Ranger team out of all of them.
Oh no.
for like an anniversary series. Like, oh, remember that kid from 20 years ago? He's a grown up now. He's the Red Ranger. You know,
Bring back David Leitch.
Like, oh wow. Bring back all
It sounds like
these random one-off characters.
it sounds like Kids Next Door for Power Ranger kid guest stars. So that's what it sounds like.
I mean, they're not kids. I mean, like I said, it'll
not
be like
anymore.
for like an anniversary series. So they're all grown up.
Give
older,
me like a one-off Power Rangers episode or like short film where Tommy comes home to find out that Rita came back like as Rita instead of the white mother,
Mystic
or
Mother,
Mystic Mother,
Yeah.
and killed his rebuilt version of Alpha 5, and then goes off in like a John Wick style revenge to take out all the monsters.
And then every single
he's just morphing all the Rangers.
the OG Rangers are trying to calm Tommy down. It's like, okay, we can't do this. We gotta call in the big guns. Call Jason. I'm like, like Jason walks up to like, Tommy, you are out of control.
Who was the monster in this episode?
It was that three-headed
thing.
It was that three-headed Cerebrus flame monster.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Like just like everything about it is just like very forgettable.
Like you said, Josh, a lot of the stuff that happens in this does play into the next episode, which I have to say for next week.
Yeah.
All right.
So errors. The only error that's listed here is kind of like what Elle was saying about the bus. Everyone acts like you need some special skill or experience to drive a bus, but they mostly operate like standard motor vehicles. With the professional driver still conscious, he could have easily guided any passenger to drive the bus well enough for them to get to a safe location.
I mean,
And the bus driver really just had a hurt arm.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I drive with one hand. Like
But
maybe you need the stick shift, like you got to shift or something like that. Like that. I mean,
yeah, I mean the wheel on the bus is quite a bit bigger, so like I guess I can understand like if your arm is injured
and it's not
hurts.
vertical. It's like
Yeah.
It's
so I can understand that being an issue.
What do the wheels on the bus do?
They go round and round.
until they go off the edge of a cliff, or a freeway, or whatever that thing was. But
oh my gosh.
but it didn't end that dark. It didn't end that dark. This is children's show, you guys. I don't know.
The notes. This is the second time a real life gun is seen in Power Rangers after Wild West Rangers. As a result, this episode was skipped in the UK by Fox Kids due to the appearance of a realistic firearm. The episode did air on GMTV though. The outcome of the scuffle between Dana and the robber is different in the original version of the hostage situation seen in GoGoFive. The Mitsuri Tatsumi, who's Dana's counterpart, is pistol whipped after being told to be quiet, as Professor Mondo Tatsumi, who is the equivalent of Captain Mitchell, contacted her through her go-go brace, and blood is seen the blood seen from her lip was changed to having Dana fighting with the robber and knocking the gun out of the robber's hand before he dangled for his life from the bus on the bridge.
Dude, that's some graphic.
Yeah,
some graphic Sentai footage.
Sentai doesn't hold back.
Oh, man.
The first two episodes of Bioman will make you think like you're watching the last two episodes.
Oh, dang.
Like the minions show up and they just start mowing people down. I was like, what is happening? I think it's Bioman. I'm pretty sure it's Bioman.
We also have the title for the episode, Go Volcanic, is a reference to the morphing call of the Galaxy Rangers, Go Galactic. Which I guess with the reuse of the music kind of makes sense, but there was no connection there, so I
wouldn't have made that.
I don't really understand
that's a
that.
stretch. That's just they even reuse titles in Power Rangers sometimes. So
they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much more to say about this episode. You guys have scores for
and in the chat, give us your scores too for this outstanding speed knockoff.
I give it a 4.
Okay, that's actually pretty high.
Why
is it so high? Why is it a 4?
So generous.
Just because. Okay, look, I don't like.
Somebody worked really hard in these shows.
That's sweet. I like that.
The PAs that were fetching people coffee did a really good job.
I just find, the moments like, okay, first of all, the bus scene, the connection with Dana and the convict, and, just the first appearance of Queen Banshur, which does play a role later on. Because, I mean, I know our opinions may differ. I just find this, I just find the stakes in this episode very high because, like near-death experiences. The bus was about to fall off a cliff. Dana was in a hostage situation.
They would have survived if it fell off the cliff. It would have been fine.
Would they though?
It's Power Rangers.
Dana
They would have been good.
I mean, Dana would have
Yeah,
been, but
for
everyone
sure.
else, not really.
I mean, the bus wasn't that full. I don't want to like minimize that, but considering it was a tour bus, they could have gotten a way smaller, like a nice little like coach or something, like instead of a school bus. That tour should have been like
the elderly wouldn't have made it. They would have shattered. Older people are fragile.
Listen, do we know that the people on that bus were actually old?
There was an old couple.
There was an older lady and the gentleman sitting next to.
Those were costumes.
I don't know. I mean,
they were working with the guy who robbed the bank. They were just there to make sure everything was okay, but they didn't want to break character.
Josh, how would you rate this? How would you rate this one?
I'm gonna give it another 2.
Okay. All right.
There was I can't really complain about anything specific. There was nothing that stuck out that was like, this is dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb. It just wasn't good. It was just, again, it was
fine.
there. It was just there even less than the previous 2 episodes.
What about you, Corey?
2.5 Sam's last
All right.
one.
I thought you would give it a 3.
I know.
What? Nah. 3's
I
too
mean,
high.
I would be honest, Jonathan won me over with his rationale for this episode. I mean, in real life, if this was like a more realistic thing, the stakes are actually higher than they have been for any other episode this week, it just wasn't played up. The suspense wasn't there. I feel like the stakes were not really played up. I don't know. I want to defer until next week. I'm gonna give it a 3 now, but we'll see how it is by the second half.
I feel like if this had been a real 2-parter and it had been left on a cliffhanger with the bus dangling off the cliff and us not knowing how they were going to get out of that situation, that would have made the stakes feel a little bit higher.
Yeah,
and
I
I would
agree.
have been like, okay, yeah, I need to watch the next episode now to see how they get themselves out of this mess. But that's not what happened.
That's actually kind of how it plays out in GoGoFive, but I see your point.
It's just, I don't know. In the chat, we've got Pikachu Master who gives it a 3 out of 5 because he was trying to remember the episode, and now that he did, all he remembers is Dana riding the bus and preventing something terrible from happening, and a volcano. Matthew Thompson says that it wouldn't have been Alpha 5, it would have been Alpha 7. Thank you.
Same.
Let's see. Daniel, Battlestar Galactica, says we can watch the Ranger fight coming up. It's like a reality show of what you're pitching. JDF doing the promo, then Blake and Mike are fighting. Is that actually happening now?
I don't care about that.
I don't care.
I don't care. I really don't care. It's just, I feel like now.
Let's see. Matthew Thompson says, "Shout out to all the PAs out there." That is you wouldn't have movies or TV shows without them. So they are one of the most important things on a set. Things, because they are things. They are not real people. Let's see. Daniel gives it a mid-card value of 3. He says it was cheesy. It was a ripoff. It's part 1, and we get to see how each person can be the change that someone needs. Yeah. Donnie Pearson gives it a 10 out of 10, and Jared Hodges gives it a 3, but borderline to a 2.
All right. I mean, they were all decent episodes this week. We agree they're not terrible.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're just not. They're not stand out. I'm not going to remember these episodes in 2 weeks. I probably won't remember them tomorrow.
I forgot this episode existed until today.
I remember this episode a lot because just the many times I've rewatched Lightspeed. But just a question, Josh, concerning next week, since this is the next episode's kind of completing this episode 9. After that begins the Titanium Ranger arc. So how are we gonna handle the Titanium Ranger arc?
I lumped those episodes all together so we can just watch. I broke it up because it's his introduction and then it's his fall. So we just watched the whole introduction of Titanium Ranger when he leaves, and then we could just talk about it, and then the whole Curse of the Cobra thing after that.
Cool.
I broke those all up in the section, so we could just because Ryan doesn't come back.
Yeah, Ryan doesn't stick around because Saban's cheap.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay the poor man.
They don't want to pay the guy.
Pikachu Master just said that I reminded him of the old lady on the bus, and he's imagining Ashley's grandma from Power Rangers Space being on the bus and using her cane to beat up the robber.
Like, she's one of the overalls, right?
The weird backwards hat.
Yep. She was the hip old grandma.
Why am I reminded of
Josh didn't, but I love the old spunky grandma.
Why am I reminded of that gif of that old dude with a skateboard coming up to like, "What's up, youngster?" Like,
man, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I'm
hello,
like,
fellow kids.
Says, like Rock Band or something like that. Oh man, I'm excited for next week. I guess. How do we wrap this up? What kind of things you guys got going on? What kind of things you want to promote?
I mean, I've been trying to get back to doing my Disney movie marathon, but of course, with all the new films that HBO Max has been putting out, it's been putting, a hold on things. Like I just put up my review for Godzilla vs. Kong on on Friday. Yeah,
nice.
On Friday, and then of course, reaction to the Space Jam 2 trailer. So now that there's no Warner Brother movies coming out for a while. So
really quick on the Space Jam 2 trailer, did you notice that the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange are there watching?
I have
the
no
audience?
idea
Wait,
what you're talking about.
what? That is ultra violent,
right?
Why would you have the Droogs in that movie? Is it owned by Warner Brothers? Is that why?
Yeah, Clockwork Orange is a Warner Brothers property.
Everything
Oh
that's
my
Warner
goodness.
Brothers is in this movie.
It feels like it's like a
The
Ready
Droogs
Player
are about
One
to mess.
or
They're about to drink
like
some
Who Framed
milk
Roger
and
Rabbit
like
type
wreak
thing.
some havoc, though.
I
That is
saw
not
that,
appropriate to put into a children's movie.
Okay, that's a choice you can make.
All right. What about you, Corey? What you been working on?
I got to get back on my Justice League podcast. I got caught up seeing Godzilla vs. Kong last night.
Nice.
See,
So
Warner Brothers is keeping us busy.
Yeah, so I need to do it properly because I've just been bullshitting the past two. So now I'm going to do a professional kind of roundtable-ish kind of thing for Justice League. So that should be out in the next 2 weeks or so.
Nice. I should be coming back to social media fairly soon. I'm going to make it a goal. Due to a heart condition, I was able to get my vaccine, so I got my first shot yesterday.
Well,
I'm
not
super
nice because of the
Welcome to
heart
the
condition.
club.
Nice because of the vaccine.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, the heart condition's not big
What
deal.
team did you draft to?
I have the Pfizer.
Oh,
the Pfizer
okay.
shot.
Wait. So is that Team Instinct or one of the
Oh my
others?
God! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that!
I am Team Instinct all the way, by the way.
Hey,
I don't play
that's what-
Pokemon
that's
Go
what it's
anymore,
all about.
but if I did. So I should be returning. I want to. It is my goal. I've been missing interacting with everyone, and I've been creeping. Like I creep every now and again.
I just got back into playing the game because I'm trying to catch the Pokemon that I want, so I could put them into the Sinnoh remakes. Because I just figured out what Pokemon Home is. I'm like, I could.
Yeah.
So I could give me some. I can make a good goat team in the Sinnoh remakes. I'm good.
But Josh, what do you guys have going up, and what do we have lined up for the
All
Illuminerdi?
right, so let's see. There's so much stuff that I've got. Today we have coming up in about 25 minutes or so. We have the Riker maneuver. Jamie and I will be discussing episode 20 of Star Trek Enterprise called Oasis, featuring a couple of guest stars from other things that you guys might know, maybe. And then tomorrow we have the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order with Jay, Nathan, and Pumps. They'll be talking about everything that happened this past week in wrestling. Also tomorrow, Shay, Jamie, and I will be back on Twitch building our characters for Star Trek Online. So that should be fun. And then next weekend we won't be doing Twitch because I'll be driving up to the San Francisco Bay Area So that's gonna take up like 9 hours of my day.
Ooh,
Tuesday
for your day job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
we'll still be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be here on Saturday, and then I'll be set up back in the hotel, my hotel, the following Saturday. So we'll be good there. Tuesday we have It's All Connected, talking about everything Marvel and DC. Thursday we have our live watch along at midnight of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4.
What about our UK show?
Yes, we also have 2 Sentai shows. We have the Sentai wrap up and the Retro Sentai wrap up. Jonathan, I'll let you plug those.
Yeah, I'm in the tomorrow. We got the retro Sentai wrap up. We're talking about watching more Chojin Sentai Jetman. So it's going great. The guys, me and the guys, Bryce and Ian, we're having a blast watching the show. It's my second time watching the show, so I'm glad to revisit this iconic Sentai show. So it's going great.
Do you know what Bryn and Heirloom are doing on the
They are
non-retro?
they're covering the current Sentai show, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. So they cover the main show. Me, Bryce, and Ian, we cover the older shows.
So yeah, I think that's really about it. I want to try getting on Twitch a little bit more often. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to start bumping that up a little bit more. Maybe I'll hop on there with the PS5 and do some Spider-Man action, even though everyone's already played that game because it's been out for 2 years now.
Look, man. When it comes to Twitch, I mean, I just started Twitch. I'm almost at affiliate. Basically, just play the games that you love. That's what I've been told. When you're doing Twitch,
people will come. Yeah.
Yeah, people will come. Just play.
Yeah.
The game.
Yeah.
You're playing games to have fun, Like you're not here to be like.
Well,
making
what
money.
I really want to do,
be nice though.
Bring back to Twitch, because we can do that. We can absolutely do this remotely. Is I want to try and get Daniel, Battlestar Galactica, if you're still in there watching. Shay, I know we can make time for him, and if I can find Tatiana, some time for her. I want to finish our Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Oh, that would be great.
We need to figure out scheduling for that. But yeah, that is it for this week. We'll figure out the rest later. Corey will send me his breakdown for the Titanium Ranger set of episodes, so we'll post those so you guys can see which ones we're covering when. Again, make sure to check back with us in about 15-20 minutes for Jamie and me discussing episode 20 of Power Rangers, Star Trek Enterprise. One last question before we go. Daniel wants to know if Corey is excited for the Beast Wars reboot.
Yeah. No, wait. The movie stuff.
I don't know.
Oh man, that roller coaster of emotion though.
Because I heard like some Beast Wars stuff is coming back, so I'm like, let's go. But then I also heard that Beast Wars movies is happening. I was like, hold up, wait, no, not that thing. That sounds strange. But I'm like, we got to bring Beast Wars back to hype up the movie. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped for some Beast Wars. Dinobot walked off the screen. He's tired of talking about.
Wait. What? No.
Clarification
No.
needed.
Yes. No.
Transformers Beast Alliance. No. Beast Wars remake, reboot, whatever. Yes.
All right. I guess on that roller coaster of emotions. Yeah. We'll see you next Saturday, guys.
All right. Later, folks.